Hey there, I'm Alyssa, and this is Speak Brown Girl, where we speak our truth on Black women, relationships, and religion. I'm a divorced mom of three littles, a digital marketer, and a theologian. I'm a feminist, womanist, and a strong Black independent woman. I like my comedy sarcastic, my traveling frequent, and my dancing a little hood.
And I'm Starr, a nonprofit professional by day and a real estate entrepreneur by night. More importantly, I am a new wife, a sister, a daughter, and a friend, connoisseur of spicy food, good coffee, and Black culture. I stand for the gospel, Black liberation, and head wraps. I am unapologetically a Black Christian woman.
And I'm Marvy, trying to keep it together over here. Excuse me. I am a senior administrative assistant, actress, and a woman of God. I enjoy game nights and exploring new places, meeting new faces, and anything animal related. And Black music, culture, and church are where I find the most joy.
Thank you guys for joining us for our last episode of season 2. Sweet Jesus. Last episode of season 2. I think it's episode 18. We will see.
Lost track of time in this.
I can't even remember my kids' ages or their birthdays, so y'all should cut me some slack. We have a really good show ready for you guys. But before we get into today's topics, we did want to remind you that Speak Brown Girl is now on YouTube at Speak Brown Girl Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And if you're a new or faithful podcast listener, don't forget to rate or review our show. Since this is our last episode for the season, you have tons of time to catch up on like 18, 19 episodes of hour or longer episodes of good content, you know? Mm-hmm. But before we go to today's topics, we're gonna go with Starr. What do you have for us, Starr?
Okay, before I jump into the news, I wanted to shout out my shirt that says Black women aren't here to save you.
I was going to ask you to say that too.
Love that.
Yes. So I got this shirt from a creator called For Harriet, who is a pro-Black feminist and womanist on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok. So if you like my shirt, go cop one from forharriet.com. Okay. So in the news today, we are talking about Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the Oprah interview. So recently, a few days ago, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did an interview with Oprah where they talked about the reasons why they stepped down from being royals and the racism that they experienced from their family members and from the British press. So I want to ask you all, what were your reactions when you either saw or heard about that interview and the claims that they made in it?
You want to go first, Alyssa?
I don't really have much to say because I didn't watch it. I just, caught the social media stuff on it. I didn't know you could step down from being a royal.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's actually a job. And so this is also what Meghan Markle said in her interview, that she didn't realize that it was a job, that it actually, it was in a full-time 24-hour, 7 days a week kind of
like
job.
Like a president type.
Yeah, they had, but also even more stringent. She wasn't even allowed to speak to the press. There was a certain, she wasn't, she always had to have a hat or something on her head in public. She had to sit a certain way. Everything was super visual and had to be on point at all times, on top of the duties that they had to be in royals and to the public service and tours and all that stuff.
Yeah, my question is why do we even still have a monarchy in 2021? England, what are we doing?
Well, technically, we don't.
I mean, when I say we, I mean the people. You're right. America, we out here. Oh, wow. Not that laugh. Yeah, no. I know a lot of people in England have a lot to say about the British monarchy. There are those that are like, why do we even still have y'all? Y'all don't even really do a whole lot as far as, political processes and making laws, and we don't need you anymore. Y'all are just kind of here for show. I know y'all do good things.
And the British citizens pay a lot of money in
Money
to sustain their lavish lifestyles.
Exactly. So I know people are like, yeah, do away with this. There is something, though, I'm not going to lie, about the British monarchy that is very, I mean, like, it's as British as a cup of tea, you know. Like, I actually attended the Queen's Diamond Jubilee when I went to go visit my siblings, and there was something about like being amongst all the pomp and circumstance and knowing that the Queen herself was traveling on this little boat down the Thames or whatever it was, whatever the river was or lake or whatever. Anyway, yeah, there is something about it, but at the same time, you're just like, yo, like, this whole notion of monarchy and like racist history that is still standing is just so baffling to me, especially when so much money goes into them upholding this lifestyle, like you said. So am I surprised that any of this was happening? No. We saw Diana, we saw the people's princess and what they did to her. And you know, even further out from the racist comments and what have you that have been made in regards to Meghan was the mental health and her asking for help and being denied that because it don't look good. Like, really? Like, not no shades of people in England, but y'all know your history. Like, everything is very much about keeping up with appearances, and that is one of those things that you cannot keep up with appearances when your whole life is about to be over, when you're ready to kill yourself. Like, you need to be able to get help, and the fact that they denied Meghan help as they did to Diana because they want to keep up some type of appearance, like, no, bun that, do away with that. Like, yeah, that was trash. And then of course the things that they said about their son was whoever, whether it was multiple people or one person that said we're concerned about how dark the child might come out. That was really just revolting. But again, I'm not really surprised, especially because the monarchy did nothing to protect Meghan from Jump Street. They kind of just let a whole lot of things slide. And shout out to Harry for protecting his woman and being like, nah, y'all not with her, then I'm not with y'all. So
Why are we still surprised that white people be racist?
I mean,
I think so. I listened to some some Black Brits talk about it, and they say that the racism there is more covert. Like, it's not like the racism that we experience in America. And I think a lot of American racism is covert, but most people in the UK don't think that there's a race problem. And it's even more like nobody's going around calling people niggers like that. You know, it's not like that. And so I think that, which is wild because the monarchy is literally almost like the oldest representation of like white supremacy in the world. Like, what was that? They conquered most of the world at one point. And they also still have commonwealths like South Africa, New Zealand, that still are essentially indebted to them in a way. And so it's kind of weird that people, I don't think it's I think it's because they try to make it covert. And I think also because we have romanticized the monarchy, we romanticize like the idea of being a princess and a queen and a king. Especially we talk about like Disney princesses, is that right? And so just like that idea has become so light and childlike and whimsical, and so we detach it from the realities that exist in the historical context of how it existed. And I think that that's why people and I don't even think it's a surprise. I think the biggest surprise is that they actually said it out loud. I think that that's what most people are surprised about, that they actually came out and spoke out against it, because that's something that has not been done before. Literally, like they were not allowed to talk to the press at all when they were royals, and then they are the first royals that I know about that actually like disowns the monarchy. And so this is like historic, like they're setting a precedent in itself of even like coming out and saying any of these things because of the like appearance that the monarchy has tried to keep up literally for centuries.
Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is like, who wasn't excited that we were getting our first Black princess? Like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh! Like we're so excited for Meghan! Like we got a Black princess. This is so
Even though we were
amazing and
princesses,
historical."
when they killed them.
You said what?
Even though we were princesses before, but
Yes, but like in this way, like an actual legit, like, you know, the British monarchy, we were getting a princess, like everyone was super excited about it.
Yeah,
And
like
then
the like you know from a lineage that was like the most powerful monarchy in history.
right. Even though they have said that, I don't remember if it's Charlotte, they think might have been, you know, half Black or something, might have been. They included that in Bridgerton. Yeah, anyway. Margaret, Charlotte? I don't remember.
I have one other question before we move on from this topic. Because like we talk about, like I don't really care about Meghan Markle and Prince Henry and the monarchy specifically, but I do think that we can like glean like some parallels from watching stories like these play out when we talk about like anti-Blackness, right? And so, did y'all see the how the media compared Meghan Markle to Kate Middleton, and like even when they have like they're doing the same things or have similar looks, the headlines would be completely different. Like Meghan Markle would be edgy and like and Kate Middleton would be regal, and you know, and so the literally the parallels kind of, and even like her getting some of like the angry Black woman kind of tropes, although people would consider her white passing if we didn't know that she had a Black mother, you know. But because people know that obviously at this point, then they put those like anti-Black woman misogynoir like stereotypes onto her, which is interesting. Did y'all see those?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see much of it, but I did see how they were pitted against each other, like in the tabloids. Anytime I went to the grocery store, it was like some picture of like Kate looking like this and Meghan looking like this or what have you. So from Jump Street, the tabloids were pitting them against each other. And then, yes, making comments about, oh, yeah, Meghan is out here not wearing pantyhose. Oh my gosh. Like, and then, like, I actually just in the grocery store just saw the new people's princess, I think is what one of the headlines said in reference to Kate. And yeah, I mean, the media gonna be trash all day every day. That's just what they're there to stir up trouble and get people to pick up the copy to read. So
and how they flipped that story about when Kate made Meghan cry and said that Meghan made Kate cry.
Like, oh, was that what? I didn't see that.
What, that was an interview. Like there was the story they ran that Meghan made Kate cry, but it was the other way around and nobody told the truth. So they made her look like the aggressive person when she was on the receiving end. That's crazy.
That's typically how they do it though.
Yeah, but it's on Front Street and she actually named it. So racism.
Shame. Shame on you. Shame.
So that I guess that causes me to peg the question, like, when will we stop wanting to sit at tables that are not welcoming to us?
Yeah.
Do you know? So are we saying that Meghan shouldn't have married Harry? Like,
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. What I would go so far as to say is we're always looking for these institutions, the same institutions that have put us down for so long. We're still looking for them to accept and include us.
Go ahead, Starr.
I was going to say defund the monarchy, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm fine with defunding the monarchy, but I also feel, and I don't know, like even Meghan herself said that she went into this with a bit of naivete, if you will. I think there is the idealist, maybe, that might have been in her, that's like, we can maybe change the way things are, I feel like sometimes,
I don't think that was it.
yeah, maybe
I don't
not.
think she was going in looking for change. I just thought that I think she was just going in thinking that she would just be treated like everybody else in the monarchy, and
Yeah.
she realized that no, we know that your mama black girl. You better get to the back of the bus and stop
Mm-hmm.
playing.
Right.
I don't think that she went in thinking that she was going to dismantle anything. I think that she went in thinking that she was going to marry into like this wealthy famous family. I think that was what she thought it was, and not like this entire like system of oppression. Like literally it's a system of oppression, and it has been for centuries. And so I don't think that I don't know if she was quote unquote woke to any of like, or cared about any of the history. I mean, obviously like she got into a situation because she fell in love with Harry, is our assumption, obviously, because they got married,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I don't like fault her for wanting to be with this man. I mean, it wasn't like she was just somebody off the street. She had wealth and celebrity too, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
that celebrities marry other celebrities all the time, but this was a whole system. Like she referred to the family as the firm. Like who refers to the in-laws as the firm? That's a whole nother
Wow.
that's a whole nother world. But yeah, I think I consider her experience personal. Like I don't expect to be like vindicated by the monarchy as a black woman. I don't expect these systems to necessarily affirm, especially that system. I don't live there. I have no interactions with it. I just think that we can like glean examples from other people's experiences, because like the same thing with like our corporate jobs. All three of us work for majority white companies,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people are like, why don't y'all? Why you still mad that they didn't give you a promotion? I mean, I need my money. I gotta work. We still gotta exist in these systems. There's almost no system that black people can exist in this world, not even in this country, in this world where we're not subject to white dominant culture, white supremacy, and systems that were literally not built for us to succeed in.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think that like
But
there's
also, I
always
think we don't go into these spaces expecting to be treated like everybody else. We go into these spaces, especially as Black women in the corporate America space, we go into these spaces knowing that we're going to be looked at differently, knowing that, our call off day is different than a white guy's call off day. You know what I mean? We already know these differences. We're not going into there thinking that we're going to be treated the same as our white counterparts. That's not realistic.
yeah, I think that Megan is different from us in that way, in that I think that she definitely has privilege in a regular context. Like she's not treated and looked at as your regular unambiguous black woman,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like she's white past. She's not. I mean, obviously now we know that she's biracial. Like, the world knows that. So like, but before Meghan Markle was with Prince Harry, like she probably was in spaces where she had a lot of privilege, and not just like because of her skin color, but also because of like wealth and access and all those types of things. So I don't think that like yeah, even in like the entertainment industry, I don't think that Meghan Markle would have been subject to that type of racism like that, because her look is the ideal in that space. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you go to like an all white, like literally the lineage of the royal family is like pure white, 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 white. Like that's a whole nother
Yeah.
beast in itself. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I think that there are times that we have to build our own tables instead of looking for a seat at a table. And I think that there is a time and a place for us to sit at tables and change it from the inside out, as we were able to. But this was one of those times where it was not going to happen in
Yeah.
a
And if
year.
you, I'm sorry, baby, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No,
That's
I'm
it.
saying, and if you are going in with the intention of changing it from the inside out, don't get caught up on the inside where you forget your initial the initial reason you went to the inside. We see people going to Congress with the intention that I'm going to make some change. And there are people who make amazing change. I'm not saying that. But then there are also people who forgot why they were there in the first place. And then they start kind of like assimilating with their white counterparts and they forget their entire reason for being there.
That's all I got, folks.
Oh, yeah. And now we're on to Marvy's segment. Marvy, what do you have for us? Something fun, I hope.
Yeah, just some like crazy questions as always, Still going through this deck of mentally stimulate me questions that you can play with. I know you can play with your significant other or with my girls.
Love you. Did you already choose the questions or are you just gonna randomly pull them out?
I have some questions. They're ridiculous. But I'm just kind of curious to know what y'all gonna say. So this question, there's no A, B, or C. It's if you were the opposite sex for one day, what's the first thing you'd do? Alyssa covered her mouth because she knew what she was thinking.
I'll be aiming everywhere. I would be like, ooh, this thing can it move?
I would literally do that one dance for flapping.
Can I move it? Can I do it with no hands? Okay.
Wow. Wow. Y'all went.
How are we here, Starr?
Y'all were.
That's how I went on my mouth because that's the first thing that came to my mouth.
I mean, like, I'd be curious to know how it works. So I would definitely, explore and figure that whole thing out. But this is the sad part of Marvy. But to be expected. I was like, oh, well, hopefully if I was a guy, I would have a beard. So I would want to just like play with my beard and like, get some beard oil and like, I don't know, just.
You can get a beard without being the. No.
What?
I'm just joking. Nothing.
Okay.
Some women grow beards. Is what I'm saying.
I don't.
Some women do. It's called PCOS. They grow facial hair.
Yeah, so I don't have that. So the first thing that I would do after probably exploring parts that I don't currently have, then I would be like, ooh, let me like take some Instagram photos with the beard oil like these men be doing out here. I would be that guy, that really annoying guy that's just like, ooh, yes, y'all see it. Y'all see it.
I always wonder if it hurts when like guys sit on their balls. Like, can you like feel them? No?
It's like, how bad does it hurt if you get kicked there? Or like,
I don't want to get kicked there though. You can miss me on that.
Doesn't hurt when they sit on their butt. I would just be like, this is weird. Why is something still dangling?
What? Yeah, it's still there. This is uncomfortable. How do you walk with this thing? I don't.
Is it sticking to what's on my leg? Oh yeah.
We are 12-year-old boys right now. Yeah.
I'm telling. I don't know. I don't wonder about anything else but that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like anything outside of that, but I think that's the only that's the biggest difference. I mean, there's some like misogynistic things, like men get privileges, but I wouldn't want to be a trash man who denies privileges to women. So I wouldn't participate in that.
Yeah, that's not the first thing that you would think to do.
I would just be excited about seeing what that thing does. So.
Wow. Okay. Next question. Because all right. If your car's gas hand was a song title, what would it be? Would it be A, No Worries by Lil Wayne, B, Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake, C, You Better Call Tyrone by Erykah Badu?
You better call Tyrone because I avoid filling up my gas tank every time I can. I try to like perfectly time it, like, David, hey, my car need. I mean, it's a tie between that and just hold up and going home because I can push it. But that's usually the reason why I'm pushing it because I don't want to go to gas. I hate pumping gas. I hate it. Like, I hate it.
I
Wow.
don't hate pumping gas. I hate paying for it.
Yeah.
Like I already paid for the car. I already paid for the insurance. I already paid for the maintenance. Damn, you just can't run off my love? Like I don't understand. Mine will be Drake. Just hold on, we're going home.
Yep. That is mine too. I literally had that happen to me. And it's the first time because I've only had this car for almost 2 years now. And I had never seen what happens when it gets on, like, the last one. And this is the first time that I could actually see the mileage. So I was looking at my exit coming up. I was like, oh my gosh, I only have 1 more mile. And like I looked at the sign and it was like, it's gonna take me 1 mile to get to my exit. Cause I know that I was like praying harder than I've ever prayed in my life. I was like, please, God, please. I don't want to because it was late too. And I was like, I've never had to call, my insurance company with this new, progressive, whatever they have. I was like, oh my God, please, God. And then it went to 0. And I was like, no, God, no. So thank God, I don't know, little angels put some extra little oil in there or something for me because I made it.
They have reserve gas in there.
Do they? Is that how that works?
It's an estimate.
Listen, I have had my car run out of gas before.
That's because you went past the reserve. But this is coming from 2 people who just told you they don't like to get gas.
I mean, yeah.
I hopped in the car with Starr one time and I said, no, where we going? She's still going. And she talking and then she said, oh snap, I forgot I ain't had no gas. I don't even know what you're talking about because I've been focused on the fact that you ain't got no gas.
I haven't run out of gas since I remember running out of gas in high school. I can't remember if I ran out of gas after that, but I remember running out of gas and yeah.
I had a good reason for running out of gas. Like my gas gauge had broke. So I was literally having to I had to I had to download an app that would let me know, oh, it's time to get your gas now. And I would know from the time that I filled it up. All right, you have this many miles to go and now you got to fill it up. But one day I tried to push my luck and I ended up stuck like Chuck right before my exit. Like when I tell you right before, I was so close. Like the car just started slowing down. And I was like, no. And it was right about to turn. And I don't even remember what happened. Did I have to? No, I didn't walk. I think I just called the people and they came and brought me gas, I guess. I don't even remember what happened.
Mine was more trash, actually. I had just went to buy some shoes, right? Buy some sneakers. There was a gas station in the parking lot of the place where I got sneakers.
No.
Kept going.
No. Starr.
I was in high school. My ratings are objective.
Wow. Wow. Welp. The next question is a little loaded. So here we go. If you had to take a shot for pretend you drink, Starr. If you had to take a shot for every time you thought it was true love, how drunk would you be? A, safe to drive. B, words slurring, tipsy. C, in need of a designated driver. D, wake up the next day and see 48 outgoing calls to your ex drunk. Oh, wow.
We're dead.
What was the question again?
She said
we're dead because of alcohol poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning. No, the question was if you had to take a shot for every time you thought it was true love, how drunk would you be?
Let me think.
I think I'd be at A, safe to drive, because I don't before this one, no. I knew what it was. I knew that it was not nothing.
I wish they quantified this somehow, because
there was one time I thought I was 16 years old and I thought I was in love. No. Yeah. But I think that was the only other time. Anyway.
I would definitely probably need a designated driver, but I wish it was I'm definitely a little too technical for this. I'm like, so can we get a range of?
That's the range. Safe to drive, word slurring tipsy, in need of a designated driver.
I'm saying like they don't have like anything to match. Like we're just like throwing stuff out there. Like how many? Okay, so maybe it's because I don't understand shots. Like how many shots do people have to take for them typically to? I'm like I don't.
You definitely overthinking this one. Just like, are you drunk because like you thought you were
drunk? Okay, I just don't know. I just done never been drunk before, so I'm having a hard time.
Don't worry about the number of shots. Don't worry about the number of shots. Like, has it been a bunch of times that you thought you was in love before? Right now,
bunch of times.
It was a bunch
of times. What's a bunch of times? Like quantify a bunch. This is what I'm having a hard time.
Sweet Jesus, 6.
Okay, no, not 6.
Okay.
Listen that. So
I'm gonna just go with dead from alcohol poisoning.
I think I need a designated driver for sure.
You need a designated driver.
But I ain't drunk texting nobody.
Have y'all ever done that? Like drunk text an ex?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever texted an ex Starr like when you was just feeling lonely? Like, what are you doing? Hey, big head.
No.
Yeah.
I'm too prideful.
But see, I'm not prideful when I drink. And because you don't drink, you're always prideful. Me?
Wow.
I'm always like, now this is drunk Alyssa, because regular Alyssa would not be texting you this.
Well, I guess like, am I lying? I've never not like that though. Like I have like, if it's been, I'm thinking about times where it's been like years and I'm like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. Is that what you mean? Like not like, hey, big head, like not like that, but like genuinely like I'm good. We're good. I wonder just how are you doing in life? I've done that before.
Not like that.
Okay, well, no, I've never done that.
I don't care about how are you doing in life. I hope you're doing terrible. And I hope you're having a terrible time. And I hope you never find love.
Generally speaking, I was always
cordial.
Hi.
I said, generally speaking, I was pretty cordial with my exes most of the time.
It depends. For me, it depends. But that minister guy that I dated around this time last year, he had like deleted his Instagram, and then I ended up finding it, and I found him and his girlfriend. I was like, oh.
What minister guy? I don't know what you're talking about.
I remember the minister
that I met at seminary.
Young guy?
The young one, the baby.
Yeah. That's how I know him as.
And I saw him with his girlfriend, and I was like, "Aw, you gained weight."
No, what? Wow.
I said what I said.
You sure did.
He was mean to me.
I mean, all right.
Okay, is that all the questions?
I kind of want to just because I'm feeling a little messy since we've been on this messy wagon, just this last one.
I mean, why not? Why not?
We're here now. We're here. The car is in drive and we're going. So, theory. Yes, I said it. I'm also a 48-year-old dad. We went from 12-year-old boy to 48-year-old dad. So, theory on phone privacy during a relationship. A, what privacy? Ain't no privacy. Lurking is life. B, don't ask to see my phone and I won't ask to see yours. C, go looking for dirt. You won't find it. D, we can trade phones for a day and it wouldn't bother me.
We could trade phones for a day and it wouldn't bother me.
My group text is ruthless.
So yours is...
Don't touch my phone, I won't touch yours. You go looking for stuff, you're going to find it. You might not find, if I'm in a relationship, you might not find me texting other niggas, but I'm definitely talking about you in the group text.
Wow.
Well, I think it depends on how far. I mean, I think, Alyssa, I think like, you know, like where you are now, I was like, you're saying, you really to be talking about these guys like that. But I feel like in a committed relationship, you're not talking like about them like the way you talk about little, you know, guys that, you know.
Yeah.
You talking about guys like that, like.
I would be like, you know these niggas.
Where you still be giving them names? Because we be still, if they still got a nickname, then we ain't talk about them.
That's true.
talk about like.
But I'll be like, he done got on my nerves today.
That's the.
I mean,
what you got, Marvin? You need to know everything.
why you say that? Why you think you know me? No, I would be fine with trading phones for a day. It wouldn't bother me. I mean, obviously, I would prefer to have all your passwords, so I could just have access anytime. Because you could have access to my phone anytime. But if that's not the case, then sure, you can see my phone for a day, and that's fine. I mean, I don't like the fact that like if we had already arranged the day that you could just go clean up the stuff and then pass me the phone, and then I wouldn't see anything.
I also don't agree with the sentiment that if you go looking, you're gonna find it. If it shouldn't be nothing there to be found.
Exactly.
What you mean?
Shouldn't be nothing there. You
never know.
No, I'm saying like it could be. I'm saying like just I don't like that as like just like a general rule of thumb. Like yes, of course, in some relationships, you go look and you might find it. But I'm saying there shouldn't be an expectation. Is what I'm saying. You shouldn't be expecting to find something if you go looking.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't. I mean, I don't go through David's phone like that. But we like grab each other's phone and like look. I might use his phone if like my phone is dead. Like I use his phone. I look through. I don't know how to say. Like I use his phone the same way I would use my phone sometimes. So like, there's nothing that I'm afraid of finding. I've been on his Instagram. I don't know. I have his email passwords. So I don't really.
I personally feel like that's the way it should be, but I get that not everybody is on that wagon. So yeah. And that concludes my messy wagon. Thank you for riding along.
There was a time when I was single-ish, like when I was single but in a relationship where I didn't want nobody to touch my phone. But there was a reason, clearly.
What was that razor?
Wow, Starr.
Starr, I'm not a player. I just crush a lot.
And get men fired from their job.
It was a lot.
He is hot. Y'all know it ain't no actual tea.
It's wine.
Star's will be actual tea.
Hmm?
I said yours will be actual tea, but mine is not tea.
Oh, I just got water. That's all.
I'm on water today.
I had some black tea earlier. It was good. From Big Black Tea, which is a black-owned tea company.
I still have my tea. I'm scared to drink it, but I might drink it.
Did you get black tea?
Typically, no. I try to do caffeine free.
I'm saying, like, is that what was in your box?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's caffeinated. That's what I say is caffeinated. So
I might try it one of these days when I'm feeling real brave.
It's very good.
Oh, you don't do caffeine and you be that intense?
Yes. Imagine if I had caffeine. I would be.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Oh my God. All right. What's next, y'all?
All right. So our topic of the day is our best and worst season recaps. So
I think that I don't know if that was a question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, babe.
I guess I was looking at like I think one of my favorite episodes was when we were talking about what's that guy's name? The
Kevin.
Yeah, that guy. Kevin.
Okay.
I think it was interesting because the format was,
yeah,
a little different, and we reacted to it live, and we got to talk our junk, and rip apart his theories. But,
do you have any additional theories that you would like to add to his foolishness? Because he's pretty viral.
I don't want to talk about him again ever.
No, I think that my theory is just that his audience is like he talks about high value men, but his audience are not high value men. Like literally they're not high value men. And I think that the purpose of their rhetoric is to make women settle for them. I feel like the women, I mean, the men that they want women to settle for is his target audience.
I think so too,
Mhm.
because I say this all the time. Like people with money or people that like have money or are able to manage their money well, stuff like that. They don't sit and talk about money all day. They don't sit and like splurge on super expensive, or you know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, I only go to the best of the best, or I'm posting pictures of gold bottles and stuff like that. And I think that's the same for like who like Kevin Samuel says he's targeting, like high, showing women how to get high value men. But you're speaking for high value men, but the high value men are not even speaking. Like you're these are men that are trying to convince themselves that they are high value men so they can get said woman. So I mean, I completely agree.
If you'd
Marvelyn,
like to
what was
check out this podcast, it's called Can Average Looking Black Women Get a High Earning Man?
those eyebrows?
I don't know. I just
Those are
felt
her
like
journalist eyebrows.
those are my journalist eyebrows. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Um, that was my favorite episode too. Talk about mess. Yeah, I think that was like our biggest reactions, and like, yeah, I was appalled pretty much the whole time. So if you watch on YouTube, you would have seen all the faces of just like, oh my God, what is even coming out of this man's mouth? So yeah, that was definitely my favorite. We talked about Cardi B so daggone much this past season. Like, how did that even happen? Like, Cardi B was almost in almost every episode at some point. For at least, I want to say it was like at least 3 or 4 episodes. Cardi B came up.
Absolutely.
And Megan Thee Stallion came up a few times.
Yes, it's like people could not leave them alone in 2020 at all.
Megan still be coming up in the news. I just don't watch it no more because they just reach for any reason to try to demonize her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw something that said like a black woman that is like they were saying like, oh well, Tory Lanez was scared for his life, blah blah blah, and they were like saying because of like her height or whatever, but then they were like, Taylor Swift is the same height, but y'all automatically like demonize black women, you know what I mean? But
Ugh. Yeah. And they wouldn't let Lizzo live either. Lizzo, all through 2020, 2019, I want to say, they could not let Lizzo live.
no, because why first off, you're black. That's number one. Number two, you're a black woman. And number three, you're a fat black woman. So no, we're not gonna let you live.
Which was just ludicrous.
That's one that I wish we would have talked about this season. I wanted to talk about fat phobia.
Mm-hmm.
We never got around to talking about that, so maybe we'll talk about that in the future. I think we like hit on it when we talk about Lizzo, but I really want to dive into fat phobia because there's not it's a lot to unpack.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It definitely is. It definitely is like fat phobia, and then like the body dysmorphia that comes with it, and how that follows you from a very, very, very young age.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my earlier like memories of childhood was when I started to grow boobs. My dad was stressed that I was gaining weight, and he would let my other sisters sleep, and he would make me go to the gym when they were sleeping to go run around the track for miles to try and get me to go try and make me smaller, but he didn't realize that the boobs were not going anywhere. They in fact got bigger. So that started like a whole thing of body dysmorphia.
Yeah. I think that's a great topic to talk about in our next season.
For sure. Um, what do you think we talked about that wasn't received very well, or that our audience didn't really resonate with well in season two?
I don't know if I saw anything like that.
Yeah. I think our
Unless
audience knows how we rock at this point. I
Alyssa, I
didn't
don't know
hear.
if you have more thoughts on that.
Yeah. And
You
what
have
was your
more
favorite?
thoughts? Like, so if you see that, like, something that we hit on that we think was really good, but then like it didn't really resonate with like the views or like the listens or the feedback.
Yeah, no, I think that you have more insight on the feedback, but I'm curious to know what was your favorite episode, or which one do you feel resonated the most with our audience?
Let me think. I think what with all of us, the one that was a resounding like same answer was the Kevin Samuels one, right? Because we talk about Black women all the time. We talk about the protection of Black women. We talk about um, you know, things like that. I think that one really resonated, but I always love when we have like very deep, very good conversations about like how to navigate real life. And so like what that kind of looked like was like our self-care episodes, or navigating with like negative friends and family over the holidays, things like that. I think that those really kind of help Black women navigate through their day-to-day life, instead of just like these instances of like, Kevin Samuel situations and stuff like that. Um, so I think that I still want to hone in on some of these things, just maybe find a different way to approach it and a different way to like share that information. Because we, as Black women, we carry so much and we bear so much, and being able to help one another in a practical way is really like important to me. So I just always end awkwardly when I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I noticed. You just do this like smile or this little
I do that quite often.
This is my transition.
And scene.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I think that our listeners really resonated with Marvy and all her games, even though me and Starr are pretty bad at them.
Oh, yeah, they dragged us for not knowing the song that I don't know.
The song that you still, what? Why? How are these my friends, Lord? I don't understand. Oh my gosh. For those that don't know what episode we're talking about, it's a game with holiday trivia, Christmas trivia, and the song by the Temptations, Silent Night, came on, and they could not even tell you what that was. And I was like, how this iconic classic song that you don't know? What?
And me and Starr were looking like, what?
Sounds familiar.
Reminds me of
It
that
doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
Not ringing a bell.
You remember that gif with that girl that was like crouched down with the glasses and like the
Yep, that was us.
Like, I feel like that's a song. I should know.
With a melody. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh gosh.
That's all I got.
I also think that my police officer story time was a highlight.
I loved hearing the mess of that story. My gosh.
It makes me want to dig into the rest of my messy stories that I forgot about. Like, what have I forgotten about?
Girl.
That I need to bring back up again.
You know what I would love? I would love if we could make it so that our listeners could record their story times and send it to us, and we can share some of those stories. Because I know y'all out there.
I think that was an idea from the first season. We just
haven't
I
done
don't
it.
know, girl. If y'all have some story times, share it with us. We want to know.
Yes, we're gonna make it so that you can send us like a voice note with your 3-minute long story
or video.
Yes, we would love to include you so we can be in on the mess too.
So we can keep with you.
I mean, Kiki. Just kidding.
What'd you say?
What? I don't.
Say, Mom?
No, we like mess, especially when it's not our own. So We as Black women, we share our stories. We share the mess. We share the tea. We laugh. We cry together. Yeah.
Yeah, first season, Alyssa exhausted all of her stories. She has stories.
Ooh. I remember when I was listening, just as a listener, just listening to the story time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. Oh no, what's it gonna be?
Man. And now, I mean, I don't go anywhere, and also like I was like, Starr was like, you gotta shoot your shot, and you gotta, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Now me, I'll be like,
you be going out though.
I go out with friends.
Going down.
See, this is the thing though. So I go out with friends, but I don't know how to control my face. Y'all know that. So we went to a live music thing this weekend because one of Aggie's friends were playing, and these old men tried to talk to me. Y'all know I hate gray hair. Okay.
You missing your whole blessing.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So he's like, and he thought I was 27. They think I'm young.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, and I'm like, he's just like hanging around, and he like keeps buying me drinks, and I'm taking it because the drinks are like $18 a pop.
Ciao.
But then he looking at me, and I'm like,
okay.
You know, everybody here gonna get gray at some point, right? You're gonna have to get over that. So, what age are you gonna get over it? You gonna have to at some point.
She gonna have her.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say she gonna have her man with that dye
dripping down his temples,
messing up
I'm gonna help him diet. I'm gonna help him diet.
Oh my god!
I hate the way old men look. Like, we know your hair.
With that Beijing.
Yes, the Beijing
with all the wrinkles, every wrinkle, but your hair is coal black. How? What? It don't make no sense.
That was my father.
Let that salt and pepper come out. Let that salt and pepper live.
But you know what? Maybe by that time I'll be comfortable with it because I have it too.
But you gonna dye your hair for like ever. You be in the casket with like a bright magenta, so you know.
First off, don't refer to me in a casket. It's kind of creepy.
Okay.
But no, they were trying to like legit holler at me, and he was like, girl, like I could tell he was trying to like use his best pickup lines, but like he was like, girl, if your life up and your credit up. And I was like,
neither one of those are turned on.
Is that how you get women? Mess my credit up, my good credits? You what?
And my life? You want me to mess my life?
And I'm sitting here like, if I was 24 or 25, I'd be like, because because people be thinking it's cute, like it's a flirty type thing. But I was like, oh,
I'm gonna raise my credit score, not mess it up. You don't got good credit. I just want to be like, so what you got in your credit report? I'm too practical.
I can't believe you're like, oh no, I'll pass.
That's not a good pickup line.
It's not, and it's gonna make me like walk away.
People just out here moving different in this quarantine life because, like, yo, they've been cooped up for so long. They just don't even know how to act. I mean, they was probably doing that foolishness beforehand, but like, I kid you not, I went on a walk the other day. Mind you, I feel like I'm looking homeless. Like, I have on like some dark sunglasses, some like broke down looking like hoodie, sweatshirt, and like a random like skirt thing, and like some sneakers, and just like out here. And I was like talking on the phone to my man, and this man is watching me from his driveway, walking and talking. And this man is like, hey, can I walk with you? Can I walk with you? I was like, I'm on the phone, you know, trying to do that, like, I'm on the phone thing, sorry. And he's like, come on, you gonna be like that? You gonna be like that? I was like, ew, like, not in your driveway trying to holler with like in hands, like, and me looking half homeless. Like, what are we doing?
Sis, no. I'll do you one better. Got Junk came yesterday, picked up like my old trampoline, like all that stuff. My dad's in the garage. I'm like, Dad, what else should I get? You know what I mean? And he's like, so you got any kids?
You pick up a trampoline. You think I'm on the trampoline?
And then you get all these old toys. I'm literally holding a baby doll. You don't think I said, yeah, I got a lot of them. Oh, where my daddy looking like, is he?
Your dad is right.
My dad is looking like, is he trying to flirt? I said, yes, Dad. That's how they flirt. It's so weird. He talking about it's a garage full of toys. He talking about you got a kid. Who toys they belong to?
I want to believe he was being facetious and be like, hey man, like you got any kids?
Flirt, bro. He was trying to flirt. I was like,
be gone.
because now you know where I live and I'm slightly uncomfortable. But
it's gonna get worse. Just wait. When the world opens back up, people ain't gonna have no act right, and they just gonna be out here like humping everything and just out here.
Are you seen Atlanta last weekend? It's open. People was out here.
It's open. What you mean?
Listen, everybody is outside. They are outside. Just yeah. But that was Atlanta since even before the vaccine came out.
But then we got everybody else people too. We got our own people, but then everybody else came to Atlanta.
Oh, All-Star Weekend. That's right. We did just have All-Star Weekend. And I heard like a bunch of people's cars, like their tires got stolen, shootouts, all kinds of craziness. I mean
they do that any other time.
I was gonna say that's Atlanta.
They do that any other time. What else? Any other feedback about season 2?
I'm looking forward to all the new things that we will bring. We'll be bringing some.
I'm laughing at that meme I sent.
I ain't even seen nothing
Look
yet.
at your phone, Barbie.
I'm so scared. When is it? First of all, have y'all ever? Yes.
Who am I to judge? Like,
I make these faces all the time, and I love.
I know you. That's why I said this is you.
Oh, you didn't. That is me. I make all the faces.
You worse than me with the faces.
I try so hard.
You do?
That's a face right there.
You be trying?
I be trying. I try to control my eyebrows sometimes. Like sometimes I try to.
That's you trying.
I mean, sometimes I'm just like trying to like not react. It never really works.
It don't work because you be like.
I remember one time. Who was it? I think it was Starr. It was like, why are you making that face? I was like, I'm not making a face. And I definitely was making a face. I had to like look in the screen and be like, oh, I am making a face. Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Anyway, Alyssa.
Any other things, y'all?
Nah, I'm good.
Thank you guys for. Oh, you got something, Marvy?
No.
You sure?
No. This was a fun season. I'm looking forward to our next season. I'm glad that y'all brought me along for the ride. Shout out to all of the listeners. Yeah. Thank you guys for your support. And shout out to, I'm gonna say my shout outs. Ready? These are my closing shout outs. Shout out to Starr for always giving us the sister soldier, like, you know, just keeping it.
Okay, let me just say, I forgot to say that. I don't like being referred to as sister soldier.
Okay, so not the sister soldier.
Ain't nobody soldier, ain't fight nobody wars.
She said Black women ain't saving you.
Okay, yes, you're right. Okay, so thank you, Starr, for always dropping knowledge and doing it in the most like classy and like just shut down the foolishness way. Yeah, you educated me on so many different things, and I just appreciate everything that you brought to this Black girl table. And shout out to Alyssa for always making me just about stop breathing with all of your comedic value that you bring to the table for this amazing platform that you have created and invited us along for the ride for. So yeah, you guys are amazing. Off camera, off mic, and on. And I'm excited to see what else God has in store for you guys individually and for this podcast.
Me too.
Make sure you follow all of us to keep up with, what's going on in our lives. Also, Behind the House has a launch coming soon, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate both of you, and I appreciate the perspective that we have with us three and the varying experiences that perspective comes from.
And I just want to thank you ladies for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to join me and to really talk about some deep stuff. Thank you guys, our listeners, our audience, for joining us for season 2. Thank you for rocking with us. We know we're kind of inconsistent, but hashtag we take care of our mental health first,
Hashtag looking busy.
Life happens.
Hashtag surviving in the pandemic.
Yep, that's right.
Struggling mentally. But no, thank you guys for joining us, and we really appreciate it. And we will see you guys in season 3 of Speak Brown Girl.
Speak Brown Girl.
Out.